You are my MVP. Then you know what also starts with M? Monday. I was about to say, you know what also starts with L, but we didn't say a word that starts with L? Live. So we're live on a Monday.
That was the worst intro I've ever heard in my life.
Listen,
Welcome,
sometimes you just gotta make some shit shake.
shit shake. Welcome,
Shit shake.
welcome to the Legends Clubhouse here on a Monday. I am, uh, who am I? Shit shake Bobby Caboose, as always, with my loves to be live Lawson Turner. What's going on, man?
Dude, we had
Love to be live.
we first of all we do love to be live. We don't love not to be live. We love to be live and
I love
entertaining.
to be alive, but not. I don't love to be live.
Wait, what'd you say?
I love to be alive,
Yeah, though. But
but I don't want to be live.
we had an amazing, just crazy ass weekend with sports and all that jazz. But before we get into anything, what did you do for the weekend? Because I know I'm team no life, where I don't give a damn if there's any kind of sport on. I watched Luke Littler win whatever the name of the most recent dart tournament was over the weekend too. But yeah, dude, if it's got a dart, a puck, a stick, I gotta watch it. So yeah, what'd you do for the weekend?
What did I do? Friday, I had a wedding to go to
Ooh,
Friday night. So, me and the woman went to a wedding. It was advertised as a wedding that was going to be very interesting and based on the people. Though the what's it called? The bride had a black dress instead of a white dress.
interesting.
It was somewhat Halloween themed. They allowed people to get into a costume after dinner, which I didn't see anyone partake except for one guy who was like showed up at the wedding full face paint. Um,
What
that
was
was kind
he?
I don't know, dude. He had full face paint, and then he dyed his beard hair green. Um, so I don't know
Bro was a
what he was.
munchkin.
Giant Oompa Loompa. I'm not sure. He
That's
wasn't orange
funny.
though. Um, but yeah, so it was like they even came out. We missed the grand entrance, dude. The ceremony I guess was supposed to be at like 3:30, which got pushed back to like 4 because like I guess everyone was running late and like this shit was just kind of thrown together. And I guess they came out to for the grand entrance like this is Halloween from the fucking Nightmare Before Christmas.
This is
Uh
Halloween. This is
yeah,
Halloween.
and then Monster Mash and some other fucking weird ass fucking Halloween song.
Yeah.
But so yeah, we were there and you know, there's some interesting characters there, man.
Mm.
It was just we'll leave it at that. You know, but it was we thought it was gonna be a little bit more, you know,
Like a stereotypical wedding.
no, we thought it was gonna be like what the fuck shit show wedding. Like dude, well, because like okay, like 3 weeks ago, my buddy sends me the invitation to the wedding,
Mm.
and I'm like, thanks for the heads up, dude. And he's like, you're telling me about it, and it's his own brother, and he's like, I didn't fucking know. And he's like, and then he said something about like some dude backed out of standing up, so he got the role, which was really weird to me too.
Mm.
Um, but anyway, so that was Friday night. We went there for a couple of hours. Like I said, we got there at like just after 5 o'clock and they were already like mid dinner and we're like what the fuck, dude. So it was buffet style, so people were like up there getting food and it was open seating for the tables. So we not only got there mid dinner, but we had to wait until everyone like sat down so we would know where we could sit.
Right.
So
What was available?
we were like the last two to get food. I'm pretty sure people were getting like seconds when we were getting our first. But anyway, food was okay.
Mm.
Um, and then we stayed there for a couple hours. Ended up leaving right after the Tigers game started. We went to the local watering hole to watch some of that. Um, Left probably around the seventh inning. Glad we did, because we all know that I think they may still be playing baseball. Um, so I stayed up to watch the rest of the game.
Mm.
Got up Saturday. I was extremely tired. We had the girlfriend's brother's birthday celebration on Saturday, which we went over there at about noon, got lunch, and watched a few movies throughout the day, which I fell asleep during both the first two, and just was out because I was exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
And then yesterday we bowled against children.
Did you
Uh,
win?
Dude, we won the first game. We were giving up 257 fucking pins a game. 257 pins. Um,
It's a lot.
and yes, it's fucking almost two other bowlers. And in this case, against these kids that we were bowling against, they were averaging like a 70. So, essentially, it was almost four other bowlers that we
Mm-hmm.
were facing. Um, I had an opportunity to win the second game, and usually I'm not the anchor. And I was doing anchor duties yesterday, and unfortunately, we were down by 22 pins. I had a spare, so all I had to do was throw a decent count, mark, and then probably throw like a five,
Mm-hmm.
win the game. Well, my first ball went in the gutter.
Oof.
And I don't throw it in the gutter very often. I was fucking pissed. I dropped it and it went right into the gutter and I lost the game for us.
Damn.
So I was a big fat loser. So we only won one game yesterday.
But it's all good
And
because
then
you'll always be a winner to us.
thanks. I appreciate that. And I know our growing great audience feels the same because who doesn't love themselves a little bit of Bobby? So, and then yesterday we we went bowling and we came home and we organized some of the garage, which took like 4 hours to do half the garage. So that was a task that was good to get started,
Well,
and we felt really good after because we got a lot accomplished.
are you moving stuff
And
in, or is it just something that's been on the back burner for a minute? And you're like, well, we're just hanging
moving
out.
moving stuff around,
Mm-hmm.
getting rid of a lot of stuff to make room for some furniture that I have in a storage unit.
Mm.
But that we have to go through the shit anyway.
Right.
So anyway, but so we did that, and then I watch the NFL Chiefs beat my Detroit Lions at night. But you know, I'm just gonna say
Mm-hmm.
that was the only football game I watched this weekend. Was the Chiefs and the Lions.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what?
What's up?
I'm not mad about it. Like I'm mad, I'm disappointed that the Lions
Right.
lost, but I'm not mad about not watching any other football.
Um, Before we dive into, cause I do want to talk Tigers baseball first, but before that, there was a tweet circling. It got posted about an hour before the Sunday night game, and it got
Mhm.
resurfaced after the Lions' first drive. And you're like, well, if a tweet gets posted like an hour before the game, why is it resurfacing after the Lions' first drive?
Yeah.
Some better put down $5,000 at 9,000 to 1 for Jared Goff first touchdown scorer, and to pay out $450,000. And I'm sure Lawson, why did it come up after the Lions' first drive? because the Lions every week they find new ways to fucking score. The first drive they went for on 2 4th and downs, they went, they had a hook and ladder. They had a beautiful Jared Goff under center, jet left and fucking motion out, and I think it was it might have been Jahmyr
Yeah,
Gibbs. Was David
it
Montgomery?
yeah, because he was a high school quarterback.
Yeah, snapped the ball, threw it to Jared Goff. I low key thought that whoever the DB was, it might have been. I don't think it was McDuffie. I think McDuffie was either on the other side or whatever. But I thought they were gonna like wrestle it away. But Jared Goff, caught the pass, broke the plane, touchdown Lions. Right. Only problem only problem is that the Chiefs reviewed or I said the Chiefs, the referees, my bad. I mean, they kind of go hand in hand. The
Yeah.
officials
The NFL Chiefs or the Kansas City officials, yeah, you got it.
they reviewed an unreviewable thing for an illegal formation and took the touchdown away, which is really like when it initially happened, my thought process was this is not a reviewable thing anyway. So why is it taking so long to just? I'm like, why isn't Jake Bates already kicking his extra point? And we're Chiefs finna get the ball, and then when it might have been like Mike Pereira on the NBC broadcast was saying, oh well, this is an illegal formation, and they're still like reviewing it, and I'm like, I thought this was something that's non-reviewable anyway. So what the hell does it matter? But yeah, that was just the most hilarious thing, and a lot of people on Twitter were like, "Yo, y'all need to go check on him,
Right.
cause either he had some insider information to put $5,000 on a plus 9,000 prop, and
Hmm.
that's also going in the Bad Beat Hall of Fame."
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, like when have you ever seen a play reviewed for that? And like, I get they review every scoring play, but I thought flags weren't reviewable. Like I know they had a couple years ago that you could challenge the PI,
Yeah.
but they took that away.
hmm
Um and
the only thing they look for whenever they review touchdowns is like possession, ball broke the plane, XYZ, things like that. You don't review the formation of it
right, right.
because
So
it's got to be
yeah,
called.
that was the beginning of the day for the Lions getting screwed.
hmm
I think at one point someone pointed out that there was 13 penalties against the Lions and zero against the Chiefs.
The Chiefs ended with
So
0 penalties against them.
yeah. So yeah, what the fuck kind of shit is that? Like people like, if people have a conspiracy about the officials and the Chiefs. I mean, isn't last night proof? Like,
The
what the hell?
apparently the officiating crew, the head official of that crew last night, I think I read somewhere that there has not been a single game in which any team he's officiated has had 0 penalties for a game,
Hmm.
and of course it's the Chiefs, and that's I think it's the third game in Mahomes' career where they've had 0 penalties. Which once again, if you're a conspiracy theorist, it's kind of a little interesting that it happened, last night against Detroit at home. In which I think last time these two teams played was that week one opener. What was it? 2 years ago?
Yeah. I don't know if that was the last time. I thought they played them again because Goff like owns the Chiefs. I think that was his first loss against Mahomes.
Yeah, because
Um,
there was that crazy Rams Monday night game, and yeah,
hmm.
I think they only played those 2 times, so I think this might have been the third time. Yeah.
Okay, I thought there was another time because I know that was like Brian Branch's coming out party. I
hmm
think it was his first game of his career, and he
Yeah, yeah, the
uh,
pick
got
six and all.
six,
Yep.
yeah, to go ahead to win it. But yeah, man, it unfortunately like when the Chiefs went down and scored on their first opening drive, I was like, I think the Chiefs are gonna win. Like
hmm
it was like just like the Lions worked so hard. I mean, they had like a 10-minute drive to start the game.
Jahmyr Gibbs had
That's
like 8 carries. Like,
right. That's what you want to do against the Chiefs. You want to keep Mahomes off the field, but you got to come away with a touchdown
yep,
there. Unfortunately, they did, but the NFL stepped in and was like,
they did.
not so fast. pass.
They
We
did,
have
but
a
they
lot of
didn't. Yeah.
Xavier Worthy getting the first touchdown. Um, so yeah, if the Lions, I think that's a whole nother ball game if they start off with a touchdown versus the field goal. But um the Chiefs, the first opening drive, they just moved the ball down so quickly, so easily. The Lions secondary was banged up.
Yep.
They had, just a few key pieces out, and it was kind of obvious to me that the Lions were not going to win that game.
Hmm.
It was a little closer than I thought at one point, at points, but I was like, whoever pretty much has the last possession will probably win, but I was leaning probably like 65% Chiefs at that point.
Hmm. Yeah, it was really interesting to me because just like you brought up, it was like that opening drive. You need to come away with seven, especially in
Mhm.
which you have a drive where let me see. Your guys' opening drive. I know you were right. It took like 10 minutes. It went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, which is already too damn many. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 15 play. Well, 16 if you want to include the field goal.
Yeah.
But like that is a lot of time to only come away with three.
Yeah, we were at the watering hole last night,
Mm.
and we got there early. We got there like just after 5 o'clock, and because we weren't sure how busy it was going to be, and we like us at the place we go to, we like to sit at a certain area of the bar.
Right.
So we made sure we were able to get those seats. Um, but I was telling people prior, I go, there is no fucking way that the Lions don't have the ball to start the game. I was like,
Oh.
I don't know if I don't know if that's an opening bet that you can do, but I would put the absolute fucking house on it that the Lions were going to get the ball for the simple fact that if the Chiefs won the toss, they're going to defer.
Mm.
If the Lions win the toss, Dan Campbell's the type of dude like if you're on the road at a tough opponent,
Statement.
I'm gonna come out and punch you in the face
Mm.
and take the crowd out of it right away. And he did. I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better drive. 10 minutes off the clock. Only both teams only had one possession after the first quarter. And you know, unfortunately, the refs got in the way of a Jared Goff beautifully caught touchdown pass.
Yeah. Now, to go from one Detroit team to another, we were kind
Red
of.
Wings, I think they won.
They did win. They beat the Maple Leafs,
Yeah,
5-3.
looks
No, the
like
huh?
6-3, I think.
Um, Shit, it might have been 6-3. Hey, we'll
6-3.
we'll take the points in the regular season, however they come. No, though, but
Well,
when you for months have said that this was they needed another bat, and them being the Tigers, like Kerry Bonds damn near single handedly and the Scooby man, like Torres 0 for 6, Riley Green 0 for 6, Torkelson 0 for 5, Cole Keith 0 for 5, McKinstry 1 for 6, like Park Meadows 0 for 5, like it genuinely ripped my heart. And once again, am am I a Tigers fan? No, but I like to see my friends, teams.
you
Uh,
don't like to see your friends succeed or be happy at anything. I know you.
all
You don't want us to have any glory, any happiness. You want us to sit in the room with no lights on and be depressed. I know you.
Only when they're going against my team. When you're going against my team, yeah, I hope you get your shit pushed in. But it would have been a crazy, to watch the best, pitcher continue to be the best pitcher in the playoffs, and like for Scooble to go 6, 2 hits, only one run, and 13 Ks on 99 pitches. Where do you think, and if you can point to a singular thing, um, where do you think they lost Game 5?
I think they lost game 5 on July 31st. Um, dude, we didn't add enough. Again, like people are like, point to that single moment, and you're like, okay, well, you got one of the best records in baseball, blah 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 blah. We can beat the fucking dead horse till it's a bloody pulp.
Mm-hmm.
But they're like, okay, well, who would you go get? I don't fucking care, dude. Like, you go look at the moves that Seattle made. They went and got Josh Naylor and they got Suarez.
And those,
Suarez still, may have not had a great second half of the season, but he still almost hit 50 bombs. Naylor, professional hitter. He's a fucking menace. He's like one of those dudes that you probably fucking hate if he's not on your team, but you love him if he's on your team.
he's a great base
Um,
stealer for someone his with his
dude,
stature,
you get those two guys instead of Seattle, you probably win this series. Like,
or just one of them.
right. And I would have liked to get two bats at the deadline. You didn't get any. And you may say, oh, well, they had, the most runs or whatever. They have an exciting offense at the time, blah, 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 whatever, whatever, whatever. I don't fucking care. Um, you bring in a guy like Suarez or Naylor or,
Insert random
Ecker,
bat.
yeah, because who are you afraid of in this lineup? Kerry Bonds? Maybe.
Riley
You're
Green,
not afraid
maybe.
of Torkelson. You're not afraid of Riley Green because he strikes out over 200 times a year.
That's why I said maybe.
Like,
The thing I was gonna say, and the thing too with Kerry Carpenter is, if you put in a lefty, his numbers drastically drop.
right.
I think he's batting. He batted what, like 217 against lefties.
Probably. I wouldn't doubt it. That actually kind of seems a little high. But you put no fear in the opposing pitcher's eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And even with a guy like Suarez, even if like I said, even if you have a horrible second half of the season, you're at least protecting the rest of the lineup.
Mm-hmm.
You're at least giving other guys better pitches to look at. Like, I think that's a very underrated thing in baseball. People don't look at it a lot or consciously think that happens, but you got to have someone that the opposing pitcher fears. You got to have someone that like doesn't see very good pitches, and they work around them, and they either put them on or oh man, Suarez or insert player is on deck. I have to throw to this guy, so there's not a guy on first or second or wherever for the
Mm-hmm.
guy on deck. You need it, and the Tigers didn't have it. And the Mariners deserved to win that series because the Tigers couldn't fucking hit with runners in scoring position. I mean, they had that issue against Cleveland and they were able to squeak it out. It's like, okay, how many times are we going to throw Paul Skeens or Scooble out there and not get fucking run support?
Mm-hmm.
These guys, I feel bad, man. Like, if you're a pitcher with a SK at the beginning of your last name, you don't get run support.
That's with the S kid's funny. It the point that I brought up right before we went live. Would you have would you put Scuba back out there for the seventh? Because the last at bat he faced someone who has a damn good chance of winning the MVP, and it was a three-pitch strikeout, and that last pitch being 10, it was what, 100.6, that they round up to 101. 101 fastball down the cock and said, "This is my best versus your best. Let's go." And it was a big swing and a big miss, and I don't know if you were still watching at that point or if you had already left, but Scooble turned around on the mound and did his fiery shit where he's screaming and
Yeah.
walking to the dugout, "Let's fucking go!" And the thing with me is, I understand he was at 99 pitches. I think his career high is what, 114, 115,
Something like
something
that.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
My thing is, and once again, I'm not a baseball historian like example. You or a lot of Tigers Twitter that I saw after the game, where people were saying, "Oh, if it's 2013 and Justin Verlander's in that spot, he's throwing
Mhm.
122 pitches to get through the
Yeah.
seventh inning. It doesn't matter." The thing with me is, if there's ever a moment where even if you win, you're probably not pitching Scooble till game two of the ALCS anyways. Why not empty the fucking tank? And if Vest can get you 6 outs, and they put Vest out there for the eighth and ninth, and he struck out 4 batters, like,
Mhm. Yeah,
it makes no sense to me as to why. I understand the pitch count per se, but it wasn't like he was losing velocity either.
right. Yeah, I kind of agree with you.
Hmm.
They should have trotted him out in the seventh. I mean, you can always take him out during the seventh, and then
Yeah,
your guy that you bring in doesn't necessarily have to face three batters. So
dude,
you just
for
got to
real,
get the
yeah.
rest of the inning. So, yeah, definitely, I would have threw him out there. It's you have the best pitcher in the fucking world, or at least at the time,
Hmm.
um, or in the moment, and dude, you have to win. You're up one, like why not? Um, we can fast forward and the game going fucking 15 innings,
That was
and
craziness too.
guys on second and third not scoring, this and that and the other happening. It was like every time the Tigers didn't score in extras, I'm like, they're gonna lose. They're gonna lose. They're gonna lose. They're gonna lose because, I mean, obviously, the Mariners would only need one run to win,
Hmm.
right? I'm not trying to make an obvious statement of, oh, the Tigers can't win because they don't have they're not at the plate. I get
Right.
that. I get there's no defensive scoring in
Y'all
baseball,
turn
which
y'all turned what
there
like
could be.
three
We just have to figure it out.
y'all turned what like three double plays to end like in extra innings. Like it was ridiculous, dude. I remember texting you because I remember when they put Flaherty in, he like he gave I don't remember if he gave a he put the first two batters of the inning on base. I know he walked one, and then I don't remember if the second one was a walk or hit by pitch or whatever. I was like, oh, this is it. This is where the season
Yeah,
ends. And then there was just yeah, he had a strikeout and then a double play ball, and it's just like, damn, dude, it's like every single clutch defensive moment that needed to happen, you guys got right, and and
yeah,
the fact that you still just couldn't get over that one, just I said, which ended up being you said on Friday, it was a race to three,
yeah, yeah.
and
See, I knew I said that. I told you I said that.
it
But
sucks for the Tigers.
when you text me about Flaherty, I was feeling pretty good that night. So I didn't
Mhm.
even realize that Flaherty was in the game. Um, but he balled out for the couple innings that he was in, or if he
Mhm.
was in more than one, or
Yeah.
I mean, he did his job. But yeah, dude, it's always a sad day of the next day after Tigers baseball is done because
Mhm.
we'll be like, oh well, we got next year, but they're not going to spend any money, and we'll
And
see about our 4A team. Dude, people are like, saying that online, like they're the Tigers Twitterverse, they're like, well, Kerry Bonds and Javi Baez are the only two that should have, and Dylan Dingler are the only three people that should have a lineup spot next year. I'm like,
bro,
Jesus.
I don't know if you saw, it might have been the 14th inning, 13th, the like when Cal Raleigh threw out whoever it was at second in like the seventh inning, whatever it was, where it was just a perfect, runner caught stealing down the line, and then Dylan Dingler in the 14th did was an even better throw. It's like he is, and this is one of the earlier years of me like kind of diehard watching. He might be genuinely like the best defensive catcher in the league.
No, he's solid, man. I'm glad that he has taken the reins from Jake Rogers.
Hmm.
Um, he is a better bat than Rogers. Defensively, they're both good.
Yeah.
Rogers is a very good defensive catcher, and he catches a great game for usually Scooble.
Hmm.
I think last year he was like Scooble's exclusive catcher. But I'm glad Dingler has kind of overtaken him because he hits probably like 40 to 50 points higher in average.
I think he's a
Um,
beast.
yeah. So um, going forward, the Tigers have a lot of prospects coming up. They have a relatively young team in the lineup,
Yeah.
but um, Who knows, man? You're not gonna win a championship with this roster, so let's see what they do in the offseason.
To
But
address,
yeah,
oh,
like I
continue.
said, dude, it was nice. The Tigers lost, Michigan State lost, and the Lions lost. So we didn't have a great weekend, but it was a great weekend as far as like, dude, I didn't have to fucking watch any football. I didn't have to fucking care. And it was kind of nice in week whatever, five,
Mm-hmm.
6, um, to 7, I don't know, whatever week this is.
5.
Um,
Just kind of
because
relax.
you knocked me out of my survivor pools. I don't care about my fantasy dynasty league because I'm rebuilding, and like so it was nice to just get away from football for a weekend.
Mm-hmm. It's always nice to at least take one of those like half weekends or a full break for a weekend where you just kind of relax, woosah, not really pay too much die hard attention to it. Um, but and I'm sure you want to get off Tigers baseball, but I got one last question. So
Ah,
I've seen it, huh?
like about the Tigers baseball.
I go over a question. So last year, Schoolboy, posted on his Instagram, "Thank you Detroit," and he did the same thing this year, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, what do you mean, thank you Detroit?"
Yeah.
And so a lot of people are like, "Oh, is he gonna get traded?" Blah blah blah. And it's like, guys, whenever these players do this, like he did it last year, he's just fine,
Mhm.
and they're probably gonna offer him $450 million, like, and we'll
Dude,
see.
he's not gonna get out. I would be somewhat shocked if he got an offer from Detroit that's fucking like in the
Anywhere,
ballpark.
well,
Like they might be like, oh yeah, we'll give you 20 bucks a year with a Happy Meal, um, Happy Meal Express gift card that you can get unlimited Happy Meals and all, but you can only get them once per rotation of the toy. So once the toy switches out, then you can get another Happy Meal. That's going to be the deal that the Tigers give Scooble. And when Scooble signs somewhere else, Scott Harris and Chris Ilitch will be like, well, we gave him a competitive offer, he just didn't want to stay here. So that's gonna happen. I think, I would like I said, I would be somewhat shocked if Scooble signed here long term because they're just not going to be able to. They're not going to fork out the money for him. Um, so do you trade him? You probably get more value in the winter meetings than you do at the deadline.
mm-hmm.
Just all depends on what you do this off season, man. If you plan on making free agent splashes and let's try this one more time with Scooble, great. If not, I'm okay with, all right, you're not going to re-sign him anyway. Fucking just get the house for him. Trade him for the entire Pittsburgh Pirates fucking organization. Get Skeens included, or whatever you can get for him, dude. Like, cause high ticket priced item, dude. He's gonna make a bunch of money if you can get a lot for him. I mean, you could get maybe 3 top prospects and 2, ready MLB ready players. I don't know. I'm just spitballing, but
Yeah.
I think that would be a decent deal for him. Um, you fill a lot of holes. I don't know, man. He's only one guy. I
It,
mean,
it is
and he
it is
only
only
plays every 6th day. So
it is only one guy. But yeah,
what
dude,
do
it
how much value do you put into him? Like I
mhm.
mean, what's the Tigers' record without Scooble? Do they still make the playoffs?
Yeah,
What you got to
cuz
ask yourself.
mhm.
Do they still get to do they get to the ALD, CS or DS, ALDS? Probably not without them, but you might still make the playoffs. So it's shit to think about, man. It's, obviously people in Detroit don't want to see him leave. And, you want to, he's our guy, but they're not going to pay him. Detroit is the biggest small market team in that Major League Baseball.
It's really whenever you have those homegrown guys, it's always special to watch them and grow
Mhm.
because it's like I remember when you were this big and now, when you explode and flourish and develop into one of the best players, like even if you just exclude exclude just pure pitchers. Like he's one of the best players in baseball,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
it's great to see the development of players, whether it just be for your team, my team, whoever's team. If you're a fan of a team, and it's like I have you, and I want to hold on to you forever. And the day that they either depart or they sign a long-term, contract, it's like you flip a coin and you hold your breath because
Mhm.
you don't know what side it's gonna land on.
Yeah. Who won last night, the Dodgers or the Brewers?
That series starts tonight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Never mind then.
game one of the ALDS was last night. It was really funny too because George Springer hit a opposite field home run off George Kirby's first pitch of Seattle baseball, and I was like, well, fucking first pitch swinging oppo field home run. I was like, because going into the series, I'm like, that game 5 went 15 innings and you used
Yeah.
like every single fucking pitcher you had. It's going to be really hard for the Blue Jays to, not saying that they'd blow the series when it's game 1, but it's like, dude,
Hmm.
you use so many arms that if any pitcher starts to get rocked, they're just going to have to say, dude, you got to eat innings.
Right. So who won the last night?
The Seattle Mariners came back from down 0-1 to win 3-1. Cal Raleigh hit a home run. Jorge Polanco hit a big one-run single in the, I think it was 6th. Let me check. Cause yeah, I know Cal hit a home run in the, yeah. The Blue Jays were up 1-0 after the first, and then Cal hit a 2-2 solo home run with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th, and then Jorge Polanco hit a 1-run single later on in that same inning, and then he also hit another 1-run single 2 innings later to extend it to a 3-1 lead, and the Mariners are up 1-0 on the Toronto Blue Jays.
So it's funny because at the beginning of the baseball season,
Mm.
um we were we were writing for another company that will not be named.
Mm.
But I was doing season previews for different, all the baseball teams over on that site.
Mm.
And for the Seattle Mariners, I remember putting down that I thought they were going to win the division, which I believe they did. And I also said that they were going to have an MVP candidate, but I did not say that it was going to be Cal Raleigh. I did say it was going to be Julio Rodriguez, and I was like, put a couple bucks on him winning the MVP. I said the same thing about Bobby Witt.
Yeah,
Um, they were my two.
Bobby Witt's insane, bro.
Yeah, those
Like
were
I
my
could,
two lead candidates of winning MVP this year. But it'll probably go to Aaron Judge. But I almost had a Mariner. I almost had a
almost,
Mariner win.
almost.
But anyway,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what else to talk about because I didn't watch any sports yesterday. I was like Joe Flacco, and I just showed up.
Did you watch any of Crown Jewel?
I did not because again it's on fucking ESPN's stupid ass app
At 8 in the
and
morning.
at 8 in the morning, and I wake up and I think it's on Peacock, and I try to put it on Peacock. It's not on there. I try to put it on Netflix. It's not on there, and I'm like, cool. And I look it up. It's on ESPN, so I just went back to bed.
I remember. Oh, pardon me. I didn't watch it live, but obviously I saw things as it was coming out. That's
Yeah.
that Cena AJ Styles match, dude.
Yeah,
27 minutes of fan service.
that's kind of the only thing that I saw highlights on.
Mm-hmm.
And I will admit that was pretty cool. Them just doing all the moves. AJ coming out in his
TNA
old school.
gear,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was, especially there's a video of Cena after he hit the Sister Abigail and just kind of taking a minute and looking around and seeing all like the fireflies and stuff,
Mhm.
and it looked like he was about to just start crying because it's like, damn, dude, that was a it was a crazy moment. And uh
About to cry?
to Cena,
Cena.
yeah, after he hit the Sister Abigail and
I know, but it sounded like you were getting
uh
choked up. I was asking
I
if you
mean,
were gonna cry.
it was a beautiful moment. No, though, but so 2 matches later, I brought this up a few months ago about how we don't protect finishers no more. I saw a
Mm-hmm.
clip and I think I sent it to you. This motherfucker Cody Rhodes hit a fucking what do they call moves off the off the top rope? Avalanche, whatever it is. An
Yeah, I thought it was
avalanche.
just like the super
Yeah,
crossroads or shit, but yeah,
yeah.
they called it like avalanche roads or something. I don't know.
Bro hit a
Right.
crossroads on Seth Rollins off the fucking top rope, and it's not like it was a slow pin or Cody's tired and he's crawling over and
Yeah,
throwing arm over. Immediately pinned his ass 1-2 kick, and I'm like, so this is just the most least like I saw someone tweet out it's gonna take 3 of those to get to get a near fall against the Miz in 2 years, and I'm
yeah.
like, the amount of just non-protecting finishing moves, it's what I told you when I don't remember, it might have been WrestleMania where you're hitting like 18 finishings,
Hmm.
like when you start out the match, boom, finisher immediately. It's like, okay, well obviously it's not gonna be a 40-second squash match.
Right. Yeah, it's back in the day, they would hit very protected finishers, but
Hmm.
you would get like maybe one kick out at WrestleMania, and you'd be like, "Oh my God, he kicked out of Sweet Chin Music!
Right.
I can't believe it!" Yeah, now they hit fucking like you said, like 18 finishers in a match, and you're like, "Okay, cool, false finish after false finish after false finish." Um, I think they need to get back to protected finishers.
Hmm.
I completely agree with you. And I also think they need to get back to not every match has to end with your finisher. Like I feel like especially Kevin Owens, I think Kevin Owens has like one of the best unique move sets
He's
in
got
all
like
of wrestling.
he's got like four things that could be finishers: stunner,
Right. And
pop
like
up power bomb. He's got a bunch of things.
really just insane fucking slams and shit.
Hmm.
Things that probably don't even have names. Um And when you hit like a cool move like that, like I think it should be, sometimes you should finish the match on that. What are you doing?
My eyes are watering. I was crying about that Bray Wyatt stuff, man.
Jesus Christ, man. Can't even do a live show without you covering your
Crying
face with a napkin.
without me
Um,
crying, dude. I'm sorry.
but
I'm gonna. I'm.
so but that, and I think that like, if you're portraying this as being a real fight,
Hmm.
which, you are, why can't someone catch someone off guard a couple times and like just like, oh my God, you hit me with like a you punched me in the face and I'm kind of stunned and I got rolled up and lost
Yeah.
or whatever. Like I like matches that end like, not the typical way. Like you're like, oh, okay, I didn't see that coming.
Hmm.
Like, oh, that must have really did some damage if you were able to get a 3 count on him. Like it just, I just don't think you have to be like, oh my God, well, I'm tuning up the band every time. I'm gonna hit
Hmm.
this, you know, fucking super kick because that's what I need to do to finish you. And then, if you kick out, I'll just do it again.
Oh, just
But
do it again. Yeah, like I remember in 2000, I think it was 2012 when Sheamus was the world heavyweight champ. Every time he hit a motherfucker with a bro kick, that was at 1, 2, 3. And then
mhm,
I think it was Hell in a Cell. He went up against the Big Show and he hit that motherfucker with a bro kick, and he kicked out, and everyone was like, "Oh!" And I think JBL was on commentary and was like, ever since Sheamus has been world champ, no one's ever kicked out of it." And then Big Show hit the the WMD on Sheamus, and no one had ever kicked out of it ever. And then he kicked out, and it's like, no, it's ever kicked out of.
yeah.
So it's those shocking moments like that, and it's a great point that I hadn't considered, where like explosive moves can just end in finishing.
Hmm. Yeah, like I know your finisher is supposed to be like,
Your
your
sig,
best move and
yeah.
all, and all that, but like, does that mean that there's no other move that's more powerful than your finisher?
Then why is
You
everybody
know?
kicking out?
Right, exactly.
It kind of goes.
So if you hit something crazy, you should be like, oh my God, I've never seen something like that, and it should be over. You
Hmm.
shouldn't have to hit your finisher to indicate the end of a match.
Yeah, like if if someone's about to hit like a superplex and they just do like a giant, red arrow from the fucking top rope, even if it's not a finishing move, it's like, oh fuck, he's dead. Like,
Right. You just killed him, yet he kicked out.
he's literally not even moving. The ref is checking his pulse.
Yeah. They're putting him on a stretcher right now.
But
They're
the,
giving him mouth to mouth. Yeah,
they're pulling out the defibrillator, but they're still dropping the arm to see if he's conscious.
Do you know if they're still overseas and if Monday Night Raw is like on an earlier time today?
I don't know. I don't think so, but I'm not 100%. Let me check while we're
Table, man, I am so tired, dude. Like
mhm.
I am exhausted. I'm waiting 15 minutes for this show to end so I can go back to sleep. Not
uh
gonna lie.
is WWE in the US? Okay, that was the most useless thing Google's ever asked. Nope, I'm done.
It says yes.
I asked, is WWE in the US for this week? Yes, WWE SmackDown airs on the USA Network every Friday night. That's not what I asked. It's not. I didn't ask if it was on. I asked if it was in. Not on,
Maybe.
in.
Yeah, I mean they did tell you that it was on the USA Network.
And I appreciate it if I want to watch SmackDown, but it's Monday.
It is Monday.
It is Monday.
It's not Friday. I kind of wish it was Friday.
Yo, it'd be fire if it was Friday. Like if it went
It
like if it went Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Friday.
Yeah,
My
and
kind of
then just that rotation, and I never had to work and never had to do anything, and
it'd
it
be
was fun.
yeah.
And
It'd
life
be
was
best.
just peaches. And
You said peaches and cream.
cream. Yeah,
It would be nice. Yeah, though, but
like that one song where the players dwell. Do you
mm-hmm.
know where that room 112 where the players dwell?
Room
I
112.
think
Where
they're
the
from Atlanta. Is 112 from Atlanta?
I think so. Maybe sounds right. No, but I've got something that's really. Do you want to know? Like people always say, a backup quarterback is the best job until you got to play. I beg to differ. Head coaching is the best job. You know why? You got a
Well, that's not a player.
you got a fully guaranteed contract. Penn State, and the reason why I brought this up, Penn State's head coach, they parted ways with James Franklin. They bought him out for $56 million, the second highest buyout ever. And it's funny because going into the college football season, I was really high on Penn State and Drew Aller, and I could not have been any more wrong because Drew Aller has not lived up to the echelon of quarterback that I thought he was. He suffered a season-ending ankle injury in their loss on Saturday to Northwestern, and it was their third straight loss. But yeah, the very next day they fired James Franklin. I was like, could you imagine a school giving you $56 million to just go away?
I'm not
Go away.
gonna lie. If New Leaf News gave me $56 million not to do this show again, I'm sorry, Lawson, but you would be doing the show alone on Wednesday or finding yourself a new host because I would not give two shits. Because I'm still getting paid, and now I can go have fun in the sun on a jet ski, and just jet ski around the world. That's what I would do. I would jet ski around the world.
Just
Jet ski around the world. Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
that'd be really funny. Yeah, but when I saw that, I was just in like the genuine next day. Like I understand if you want to clean house because your Drew Aller window's over because that was his last year of eligibility, so he'll declare for the draft and probably fall because of his ankle
Mhm.
injury and played this past year, blah blah and this and that. But yeah, though, like to do it the immediate next day, it's like, oh fuck. And then I saw like three of their top recruits on Twitter yesterday come out and say, due to the recent turnaround at Penn State, I am decommitting from Penn State, and I'm like, y'all couldn't release a way to get them in the fucking building, dog.
Yeah, man.
That's
I,
when I'm not saying you jump the gun on firings and stuff, but
hmm
I was really surprised due to the amount of I mean Penn State is kind of in a different they're in a different tax bracket because of the school, but
Yeah.
for a lot of the schools it's like that's an ass load of just a that's a giant paycheck to just that's a giant check to cut just to get somebody out of your building even if you want to reset.
Yeah, I mean, I wish that would just happen to me. Like I said, I'd be living life, man.
Hey, man.
If I got that phone call, you said he got fired on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
I would be having steak for breakfast and eggs and steak for breakfast. I'd have a nice steak lunch, and then I would have a nice steak dinner. And you know what? I would burn every Nittany Lion um fucking swag shirt merchandise I had, um and then I would piss on it because hey, I'm not the one that fooled around in Penn State shower locker room. I tried to correct that program, and
Yeah.
now you want to get rid of me? Go fuck yourself. I hope you have another scandal and you get banned from the playoffs for life.
It kind of
See
sucks
you
for
later. Thank you for the $56 million.
it kind of sucks for James Franklin though, because I think he's a really good coach. Only problem is he's like every big game that they've ever been in, they've lost,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's been like the big thing. I mean, it's funny because last year going against Notre Dame, you're in the game to make the national championship, and then you lose. And then this year,
Hmm.
you have your cupcake games leading into Oregon at home, and you lose. And
Right.
there's been multiple massive games over the course of James Franklin's tenure, and it's just like I don't know if he's just situationally like there are certain coaches that even in like your above average opponents where you'll have uh, great coaching days and stuff, but then it's like when you go against your Ohio States, Michigan's, Bama's, uh, you know your top 5 to 10 programs, and it's like, dude, your team looks unbuttoned. You don't look like the same juggernaut as you do against obviously your 11 to 15 ranked teams.
Right. And if your goal is to ultimately win a national championship, you got to have a coach that's going to get you there, right?
Yeah.
Get you over the hump and
Hmm.
and get you there. So, we'll see what happens with Penn State. I'm guessing they didn't name, or they probably named an interim coach, I'm
I
guessing.
I haven't seen anything, which is
Oh,
even more funny because if you're a player, you're going into Monday and like what you're just gonna have a random. Could you imagine? And I just thought about this. Could you imagine if like all the players go in for like their not for practice, and it's Royal Rumble style as to who they fucking enter them? It's even more funny because I just thought about that of an old tweet. An old tweet. It was like, could you imagine the game one of every NBA season? Both teams come out Royal Rumble style, where it's like everyone's just sitting like in 2016, everyone's just sitting around Golden State, and boom, here comes Kevin Durant. And you're like, we
oh
just
my God.
like, bro, we just went 73-9, or yeah, like we just went 73-9, and then how the fuck we get Kevin Durant? Like that would have been some crazy shit.
So like free agents are kept secret until game one.
Yeah, and you
Yeah,
don't even
that
know
shit.
till like your starting lineup, and then it's just like coming in at number 30, number 35 out of Texas, Kevin Durant, and the fuck crowd's like, oh my fuck, we got Kevin. Yeah, dude. I mean,
But then he turns. He like fucking takes off his Rockets jersey and there's a fucking Chicago Sky jersey and
or
he's like, "Yeah, me and Angel Reese are gonna dominate the WNBA." And it's like, "Oh my God, Kevin Durant identifies as a woman and he's gonna win the WNBA MVP and win 17 championships in a row because literally no one can stop him in the WNBA."
I remember there was a great Dave Chappelle joke, and it was talking about how unfair and how wrong he thought like transgender men competing in or transgender women compete like people who are born a male and
Yes.
re-identify as a woman competing in women's sports, which I think it's kind of like that I believe that if you're born a male, your bone structure and all that jazz, you need to compete against men and stuff like that. It's
Yes.
and
Genetically, you are different.
Yeah, and so he brought up a great joke. It's like, could you imagine if LeBron James tomorrow said, you know what, I identify as a woman and I'm going to play in the WNBA, where he would average 740 points per
Yep.
game.
Yeah, 100%, dude.
Hmm.
100%. It would be like he would be playing by himself, dude. Like it'd just be like, all right, this is fun. This is an open gym.
I,
Um,
I I think the tallest player in the WNBA is 6'6", and LeBron's 6'9". So
yeah,
do your math,
and he's 280 pounds of fucking brick house muscle.
dude.
Uh,
You want to
you
talk
know, I
about
know, I
just?
know, Brittany Griner can hold her own, but wouldn't she be the tallest? Isn't she like 6'9", 6'8", something like that?
I thought she was 6'5".
She was
I know she's tall.
no.
I know she's.
I thought she was like 6'8", 6'9".
Let me see, because yeah, I know for Brittany Griner height. Oh, she is 6'9". Would you fucking look at that? Hold on, then who's the tallest? Tallest WNBA player. Watch me some girl that's like 6'11". I'm like, Jesus Christ. The tallest
And
W
there's
the tallest WNBA player ever is Margot. I don't know how to say her last name. Dydek. Dydek. Margot Dydek. She was 7'2". She played 11 seasons in the WNBA. Damn.
um there's like this
There's a
Chinese
girl.
there's like this Chinese girl that's like 7'5".
I was gonna say I'm sitting here. I thought we were about to just talk about the same person on accident. Yeah. It was people also look up, and there's one. Her name's Hong Shu, I think. It's with her first name is Han, H-A-N, and then her last name is
Oh, I think
X-U.
I'm true.
No, and she's 6'11", and I'm like, damn. Yeah, she's a Chinese basketball player. Yeah, that's fucking tall, dude.
It is tall.
That's fucking tall as
That,
shit.
that's a tall woman.
That's a
You know who a tall woman needs?
tall guy,
A tall man.
a tall man.
So
Um, Asia Wilson, and the Vegas Aces just swept the Sun in the WNBA Finals. And what's cool is she's the best WNBA player in the league, and she might end up going down as the best WNBA player ever. And she's dating Bam Adebayo, the Heat center, and it's like it's cool to see when you know basketball players like from the WNBA and NBA are together, because it's like in a sense it's the same sport, to where. And here's something you'll think's funny, and I think I sent it to you. She hit the game winner in Game 3, and she hit it over Alyssa Thompson and Dewana. I think her name is Dewana Bonner. I know her last name is Bonner, but I can't remember. Her first name is slipping me. And she had a game win over both of them, and they're married. And so it's like first player in any sport to hit a
yeah,
game winner over a married couple. And I'm like,
saw that.
that's hilarious.
That's funny. Other than that, everything you just said about the W, no one cared. So, anyway, thank you for joining us here on this Monday. We are usually live on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at
Just
7
shitting
a.m.
on the.
Eastern Time.
Wait,
But
I got one last thing. When ESPN was put out their new special streaming service, I was talking to my boy about it. And he was like, "Oh, that's fucking dumb." And so I was going through all like the different things that's on. It's like, all right, you got college football, you got Monday Night Football, and I'm going through the stuff, and it has them in channels where it was like in the preview on like the bottom of like the web page,
mm,
and it was like WWE here, NFL here, and I was going through, and when my cursor went over the WNBA, you want to know what he did?
deleted it. Yeah,
He just,
100%.
I was like, wow, just shitting on the W.
Yeah, so tune in at 7:30 a.m. Eastern time on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I can guarantee you we're more entertaining than the W. Um, we're here live on the YouTube New Leaf News channel. Hit that subscribe button. Make sure you get the alerts when we are live. If you can't join us live for your breakfast, just check out our show whenever it's convenient for you. We post them on the New Leaf News channel afterwards, obviously. Go over to newleafnews.com/network. Both of them take you to the same great site. We have daily content, whether it's sports, entertainment, um, horoscopes, murder shit. We have all, you name it, we got it over there. Go follow us on social media, X, Twitter. That's both the same thing.